Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec back with another video for you guys. Today's video we are in TryHackMe, Advent of Cyber 2024, and this is Task 21, Active Directory, Day 15. Be it ever so heinous, there's no place like Domain Controller. Hopefully you're all ready to learn something today and having a great day today. Now let's go ahead and jump into this and see what they have to offer us. Ahead of SOCMAS, the team decided to do a routine security check of one of their Active Directory domain controllers. Upon some quick auditing, the team noticed something was off. Could it be the domain controller has been breached? With sweat on their brows, the SOC team smashed the glass and hit the panic alarm. There's only one person who can save us. Learning objectives. Learn about the structures of Active Directory, learn about common Active Directory attacks, investigate a breach against an Active Directory. Okay, Active Directory or AD for short. All right, so I may use those interchangeably here. And this is what we need today. Do I need to start a VM? Yes. Is there split screen available? Yes. Am I given credentials to connect directly to the VM? Yes. Okay. And instructions on how to start the machine here. You can see here, I've already have it started up here. So if the VM is not visible, use the blue show split screen button. At the top of the page, the credentials to connect to the machine directly are right here. Okay. Introducing Active Directory. Before diving into Active Directory, let us understand how network infrastructures can be mapped out and ensure that access to resources is well managed. This is typically done through directory services, which map and provide access to network resources within an organization. The Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, LDAP, forms the core of directory services. It provides a mechanism for assessing and managing directory data to ensure that searching for and retrieving information about subjects and objects such as users, computers, and groups is quick. Active Directory, or AD, is therefore a directory service at the heart of most enterprise networks that stores information about objects in a network. The associated objects can include users, which are individual accounts representing people or services, groups, collections of users or other objects, often with specific permissions, computers, machines that belong to the domain governed by AD policies, printers and other resources, network accessible devices for services or services. The building blocks of AD architecture include domains, logical groupings of network resources such as users, computers, and services. They serve as the main boundary for AD administration and can be identified by their domain component and domain controller name. Everything inside a domain is subject to the same security policies and permissions. Organizational units, or OUs for short. OUs are containers within a domain that help group objects based on departments, locations, or functions for easier management. Administrators can apply group policy settings to specific OUs, allowing more granular control of security settings or access permissions. Forest, a collection of one or more domains that share a standard schema, configuration, and global catalog. The forest is the top layer container in AD. Trust relationships. Domains within a forest and access or and across forest can establish trust relationships that allow users in one domain to access resources in another subject to permission. Combining all these components allows us to establish the distinguished name, which is the N, that an object belongs to within the AD. The structure of the name would be as follows. So you have DN equals CN equals mayor, malware, OU equals management, DC equals Wareville, and DC equals THM. Core Active Directory components. Active Directory contains several key components that allow it to provide a wide range of services. Understanding these components will give one a clear picture of how AD supports administrative and security operations. Domain controllers, or DCs for short. Domain controllers are the servers that host Active Directory services. They store the AD database and handle authentication and authorization requests, such as logging in users or verifying access to resources. Multiple DCs can exist within a domain for redundancy. When changes are made to AD, such as adding users or updating passwords, these changes are replicated across all DCs, ensuring that the directory remains consistent. Global Catalog. The Global Catalog, or GC for short, is a searchable database within AD that contains a subset of information from all objects in the directory. This allows users and services to locate objects in any domain in the forest, even if those domains reside in different domains, or even if those objects reside in different domains. LDAP, which stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. AD uses this protocol to query and modify the directory. The protocol allows for fast searching and retrieving of information about objects such as users, computers, and groups. Kerberos authentication. The default authentication protocol used by AD provides secure authentication by using tickets rather than password. All right, group policy. One of Active Directory's most powerful features is group policy, which allows administrators to enforce policies across the domain. Group policies can be applied to users and computers to enforce password policies, software deployment, firewall settings, and more. Group policy objects, or GPOs for short, are the containers that hold these policies. A group policy object can be linked to the entire domain, a OU, a site, giving the flexibility in applying policies. Let us say that McSkitty wants to ensure that all users within Wearable stock follow a strict password policy enforcing minimum password lengths and complexity rules. Here's how it would be done. So one, using the run window, open group policy management from your server and typing this here, gpmc.msc. So if we want to do that, we could go and type that in. Let's see. So we can do, oh, that's the wrong one. I meant to do it over here, but we'll just type in run. Okay, there we go. And hit OK. And it should bring up, there it is. Drop down sites, domain stuff in here. Okay. This is right click on the domain. You want to select create a GPO in this domain, link it here, name the new policy, password policy. So here's the domain there, and then create, link it here. And we want to name it password policy, like so, okay? And just edit the GPO by navigating to configuration. Okay, so we have the password policy created there, and now we need to edit it. So we're going to right click here, click edit. It's going to bring up this other menu here, and we need to go to computer configuration, policies, okay? And then it says Windows settings, security settings. After this gets done loading, there we go, security settings, account policies, which is this top one here, and then password policy. Okay, there we go. Just configure the following settings. Minimum password length. So let's see here, minimum password length, and it says it needs to be set to 12 characters, which I recommend 12 or 15 or more, but we'll go with this. Okay. Enforce password history, which is 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 10. All right. Maximum password age is going to be 90 days, which is a pain to deal with, but we're going to go with it. Apply and suggested setting. We're just going to leave it to 90. Password must meet complexity requirements enabled. Complexity requirements, okay. So let's do that. Enabled, apply, okay, there. Click OK, then link this GPO to the domain or specific OUs you want to target. So we're done here. And then let's see, this is the policy will now be applied across the domain, ensuring all users meet these password requirements. All right, so let's see, links already enabled. You can enforce it like that. There we go. This is common Active Directory attacks. Adversaries are always looking for ways to breach and exploit Active Directory environments to destabilize, cause havoc to organizations. Working with Glitch to secure SOCMS requires us to know common attacks and their mitigation measures. Golden Ticket Attack. A Golden Ticket Attack allows attackers to exploit the Kerberos protocol and impersonate any account on the AD by forging a ticket granting ticket, which is a TGT, by compromising the KRB TGT account and using its password hash. The attackers gain complete control over the domain for as long as the forged ticket remains valid. The attack requires 4 critical pieces of information to be successful, so you need the fully qualified domain name, which is FQDN of the domain, the SID of the domain, user account or username of an account to impersonate, KRB TGT account, password hash. Detection for this type of attack involves monitoring for unusual activity following the KRB TGT, which is event ID 4768. Look for TGT requests for high privilege accounts. Event ID 4672. This logs when special privileges such as SETCB privilege are assigned to a user. Pass the hash. This type of attack steals the hash of a password and can be used to authenticate to services without needing the actual password. This is possible because NTLM protocol allows authentication based on password hashes. Key ways to mitigate this attack are enforcing strong password policies, conducting regular audits on account privileges, and implementing multi-factor authentication across the domain. Curb roasting. Curb roasting is an attack targeting curb roast in which the attacker requests service tickets for accounts with these service principal names, SPNs, extracts the tickets and password hashes, and then attempts to crack them offline to retrieve the plaintext password. Mitigation for this type of attack involves ensuring that service accounts are secured with strong passwords, and therefore implementing secure policies across the AD would be the defense. Pass the ticket. In a pass the ticket attack, attackers steal Kerberos tickets from a compromised machine and use them to authenticate as the user or service whose ticket was stolen. This attack can be detected through monitoring for suspicious logins, which is event ID 4768, TGD request, especially if a user is logging in from unusual locations or devices. Additionally, event ID 4624, successful login, will reveal tickets being used for authentication. Malicious GPOs. Adversaries are known to abuse group policy to create persistent privileged accounts, privileged access accounts, and distribute and execute malware by setting up policies and mimic software deployment across entire domains. With escalated privileges across the domain, attackers can create GPOs to accomplish goals at scale, including disabling core security software and features such as firewalls, antivirus, security updates, and logging. Additionally, scheduled tasks can be created to execute malicious scripts or exfiltration of data from affected devices across the domain. To mitigate against the exploitation of group policy, GPOs need to be regularly audited for unauthorized changes. Strict permissions and procedures for GPO modifications should also be enforced. Skeleton key attack. In a skeleton key attack, attackers install a malware backdoor to log into any account using a master password. The legitimate password for each account would remain unchanged, but the attackers can bypass it by using the skeleton key password. Investigating an Active Directory breach. Group policy. As previously discussed, an established group policy is a means to distribute configurations and policies to enrolled devices in the domain. For attackers, group policy is a lucrative means of spreading malicious scripts to multiple devices. Reviewing group policy objects, GPOs, is a great investigation step. In this section, we will use PowerShell to audit our GPOs. First, we can create or use the get GPO commandlet to list all GPOs installed on the domain controller. Okay, so you used GPO, then dash all, and let's just follow along, I guess. So type in PowerShell, bring it up here. Okay, and let me try to make this a little bit bigger here. So I think properties is where we need to go. So font, let's make this, I guess 20 should be fine. All. Okay, so listing out everything here. Okay, and since this would allow us to look for out-of-place GPOs, we can export a GPO to an HTML file for further investigation to make it easier to see what configurations the policy enforces. For this example, we will explore the set wallpaper GPO. Please note that this is a demonstration GPO and isn't present on the practical machine for today's task. Okay, so this is just an example of what would happen there. So they did get dash GPO report, the name of it, all right, the port type HTML, then path is where this is. Then when opening the HTML file in the browser, we are presented with an overview of things such as when the policy was created and modified, what devices or users the GPO applies to, the permissions over the GPO, the user or computer configurations that it enforces. So something like this here, when taking a look at it. So from the screenshot above, we can see that the policy sets the desktop wallpaper of devices using the image located at cthm.jpg on the domain controller. Domains are naturally likely to have many GPOs. We can use the same GPO or get GPO commandlet with a bit of PowerShell foo to list only the GPOs that were recently modified. This is a handy snippet because it highlights policies that were recently modified, perhaps by an attacker. So you could do something like this here. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow along, clear all this out, paste, here we go. Awesome, I guess we're gonna have to look at this one eventually. So let's go back to this, Event Viewer. Windows comes packaged with Event Viewer, so let's go ahead and get that ready to go here, minimize all this stuff. Right, so this invaluable repository stores a record of system activity, including security events, service behaviors, and so forth. For example, within the security tab of Event Viewer, we can see the history of user logins, attempts, and logoffs. The screenshot below shows a record of the user CMN addict or CMNaddict attempting to log into the device. So this is what it looks like here. So security. Number two, they're looking at this event here. The number three has information down here about the event, and you can see the username right here, account name, and then down here the event ID 4648. All right. So if we want to do that, just go here to Windows Logs, Security, and then you can go through and take a look at these events inside of here. Right. See stuff in there like this. All right. So let's continue on. As all categories of events are given an event ID, the table below provides notable event IDs for today's task. So let's take a look at these real quick. All right, so you have event ID over here in the description. 4624, a user count has logged on. 4625, user count failed to log on. 4672, special privileges have been assigned to user. 4768, a TGT ticket was requested for a high privileged account. All right, user auditing. User accounts are valuable and often successful method of attack. You can use the event ID or event viewer IDs to review user events and PowerShell to audit their status. Attack methods such as password spraying will eventually result in user accounts being locked out, depending on the domain controller's lockout policy. To view all locked accounts, you can use the search AD account commandlet, applying some filters to show information such as the last time the user successfully logged in. So if you want to do that, you can go type this in inside of PowerShell here. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can paste this in there. And let's try this again. Didn't copy correctly for some reason, so let's try it again. There we go. All right. Additionally, a great way to quickly review the user accounts present on a domain controller, as well as their group membership, is by using the get AD user commandlet demonstrated below. Looks like this here. So if we want to do that, there we go. All right, it says reviewing PowerShell history and logs. PowerShell, like Bash on Linux, keeps a history of the commands inputted into the session. Reviewing these can be a fantastic way to see recent actions taken by the user account on the machine. On a Windows server, the history file is located here. So if we want to go to, we can type this in. So I think you can just do it down here. Let's see. Okay, if you just go to open file location, there we go. You can just open it up. There we go. Who am I? IP, or IP config, all kinds of stuff inside of here. It says you can use the built-in Notepad or Windows on your favorite text editor within PowerShell command history, all right, which we have open there. Additionally, logs are recorded for every PowerShell process executed on a system. These logs are located within the event viewer under the following here. So if we want to minimize this stuff here, we can go back into event viewer, which is this here, and then we can go take a look at it here. So applications and services, which is this here. And it says when you go to Microsoft, Windows, and then PowerShell operational. So we scroll all the way down here. All right, so if I can drag this over a little bit, let's go down here. Okay, there's PowerShell right there, and then operational. There we go. And we have all these logs in there. Okay, so the logs have a wealth of information useful for incident response. So looks like this. All right, let's continue on. Practical. It says your task for today is to investigate Wearable's SOCMIS Active Directory controller for the suspected breach. Answer the questions below to confirm the details of the breach. And as always, go through these questions here, see if you can figure out yourself, then come back to the video and we will go through it together. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Once you subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, so you know every time I post a new video. As you can see here, most people that view my videos, view my channel, are not subscribed. Now, if you do subscribe, it will help me get into the YouTube algorithm so that we can continue to grow our glorious community here. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch. Have a nice day and enjoy the video. Let's take a look here. Use the security tab within Event Viewer to answer questions 1 and 2. Okay. On what day was glitch underscore malware last logged in? Answer format is day, month, and year. All right, so let's navigate back over to Event Viewer. So we're in the Security tab here. Now, easy way to go through here is just to go to this right side here, which says Find. Type in glitch underscore malware, whatever username you're looking for. Hit Next, and it should find that information here shortly. It looks like this is what it found here, 11/7/2024. All right, so they want it in this format. So 07 would be the date, 11 would be the month, and then 2024 it would be the year. Okay. Next one, it says what event ID shows the login of glitch underscore malware user. So if we go back and take a look here at the event ID, it should say 4647. So that should be the answer that they're looking for. So 4647, and that's not it. Let's see. Really? Oh, that's why. I was looking at the wrong one there. So that's actually a log off. So let's go back to here and click next, 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 special login. So this is the one we're looking for here, but it's the same date, 11/7/2024. And then event ID is going to be 4672. So 4672 should be the answer there. Really? Apparently that's not the one they're looking for. They're just looking for a regular log on activity. So this should be this one here, login or out at success, 11/7/2024. Scroll over and it should say log on. So 4624 should be the answer for this one. They should specify that in there. That should be just a regular log on, not special. So remember we were talking about stuff up here, 4624. This is the one they're looking for right there. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. It says, read the PowerShell history of the administrator account. What was the command that was last used to enumerate Active Directory users? So let's go back over. And we already had it pulled up here in the notepad. Now they said all AD users. So it looks like this one here. They use the star here. Yeah. So let's go ahead and grab that. And copy and paste. If it lets me paste this over. No, it will not. Okay. Well, that's going to be a pain to type out all that stuff. But all right, let's just do it, I guess. AD user dash filter star dash properties, then member of, piping that into select object name. All right, there we go. Look in the PowerShell log file contained or located at applications and services, Windows PowerShell. What was glitch malware set password? All right, so once again, we're going back into here and we're going down. Yeah, application service logs, and you're gonna go out to Windows PowerShell. All right, once you're in here, you're gonna go to find and then password. So let's see if it comes up with anything here. Take a look at this one, and let's see. Not really seeing too much here. So let's go back to find. Next, next. Okay, there's more stuff here that we need to look through and see. Oh, there's something there. Convert to secure string, and there's the password there. Super secret password. So that looks like that's going to be our answer here. And let's go ahead and type that in. So super secret, I think it's like this, password, like that. There we go. Review the group policy objects present on the machine. What is the name of the installed GPO? I think we saw that earlier. So if you go minimize all this stuff here, go back to PowerShell and make this bigger here. Let's do CLS, CLS. And we're going to up arrow to take a look here. GPO all. And this looks like the one that they're needing here. Most GPO glitch malware persistence. So we plug that in. That's the one they're looking for. Last one says, if you enjoyed this task, feel free to check out the Active Directory hardening room. Also, pretty sure I did a video over this room, so check out my channel Just look for Active Directory related videos and you should come across that one. But anyway, that wraps up this particular task. Hopefully you found this valuable. And if you did find this of value, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell. If you're new here, comment below your thoughts and opinions on the information shared in the video. Are you enjoying Advent of Cyber 2024? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my video. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one.